It's a brand new week on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown as always. I have the ladies with me. Hello.
Hi.
It's been a tirey weekend. How are you doing,
Did you do anything? Because I'm still feeling sleepy.
Yeah. How are you doing? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. Saturday I was home. The kids are in grandma's house now. Their cousins are around, so they are making all the noise there and harassing the woman. She says she's strong enough to handle them. So I was just home with Oga for Saturday all through. Then on Sunday, I had a shoot with Nse. She's doing a TV sort of, kind of a show like that where she and her two sisters, very lovely, amazing ladies, just had a chat. We talked about issues and it was fun. It was really fun. But my sister in the US said a friend of hers is a fan of the show. And she said I must make a shout out to her this morning. Her name is Buki Shonake. I hope I got the pronunciation. Shonake. But there's no I in the spelling. Okay. Shonake. And she has a twin boy and girl. So hi Buki.
Hi Buki, how are you?
I hope you are watching today.
Yes, hello, how are you doing? But how are you? You were saying very slow this morning. I hope everything is okay. Or just one of those...
Family issue.
Okay.
Or guys upset with me.
Don't worry. We all sense the upset.
You sense it this morning?
You're always up. You're very, very slow. You know you as up and down.
Oh my God.
So it was a slow morning, but it's okay. It happens. These things happen.
Right, yeah.
How are you doing, Tokwe? How was your weekend?
It was very interesting. So I went to Ibadan. No, I'm not strange to Ibadan. Like I've been there before, but this was like a mini vacation, sort of. I was supposed to go for a detox, as in 3 days, no food. And I was disciplined, though, all through Friday. I did not eat anything. I was just drinking fluid. Then my friend happens to be a caterer. And they were doing party. 2 bags of rice, 2 cows. Right, I was lying down and I was smelling juicy goat's meat and cow meat and jollof rice. I just said, I said, I have shown my discipline yesterday. I didn't eat. Today, if one died, I was going to die. Let's eat this food, man. So I ate and ate. I ate to the point that till 12 o'clock in the middle of the night, they just brought potato, fried potato. You know, there was amala, begiri, we do a potato, barbecue chicken. I was like, Jesus Christ, when you came for a detox in Ibadan and you are now eating like this, God help your case.
It's good to know you had fun.
I had fun. I really did. I really did.
Alaja?
Well, trust me, food is fun. This morning, all our children are at Macho Minds.
Yes,
so they're at camp now, doing... Maths.
Yeah.
We are hoping that they turn out smart.
Yes. In 2 weeks' time, these kids better have a turnaround because
in fact,
this money that you are spending, Morayo. 2 weeks' time, if my daughter cannot tell you, when me I tell you my job.
But the Macho Mind guy has reassured us over and over. You know, he did that this week, and it's been on my mind since.
I still remember my
children. Just know that.
You still remember?
All right, I hope so.
Yeah.
I know I wasn't there. I didn't know. Yeah, I'm going by your recommendation.
And they are using a pack, so the children will have fun whether you like it or not.
That was the place. But they will learn. Maryland.
So that pack, so they will have fun now.
Okay, no problem. My one is that way. They are going based on your recommendation.
They should be geniuses,
and
right?
Like, they come back and they don't know things. Well, my husband is just going to fight. The way you're already angry at you. Which I'll come back with that counter. I was like, go. Waste to go. Okay, let's go. And,
how are you doing? How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. I was invited as a panelist at a parenting event on Saturday. And it was interesting. It was organized by RV. I think it's RSV, I believe. They put it together. One lady called Bossa Day. Trying to Obasa, yes, Obasa. She did a fantastic job. But it was just interesting that we need to have more parenting events out there.
We do.
People actually don't have information. People are clueless on the right ways.
There's a lot of misinformation.
Misinformation, and they are still using the old format that we know didn't really work for us. You know, so it was important to have that conversation when people who are speaking on parenting, talking together, and just thinking,
this meat are still available.
When they learn their praise, what is it out there?
I always recommend them.
Informed on this panel. And it is when you talk and when you see people and you hear their conversation, you realize that, we know a lot, and I think everybody must be in that space of always learning because it helps you.
And the opportunities are the people should just avail themselves. It was the Union Bank one that we went. I met Dr. Yewande Oshodi, and when she talked about their mental process, we really just worry. Let them be children. It takes a while.
They were shouting at one boy yesterday in Ibadan, and I was wondering,
the song teaching I listened to is very demonic, and I'm wondering, right?
demonic.
So we're going to stay on the demonic part, right? You're not going to try to fix how they can understand what they're hearing and make the difference between what is right and what is wrong. We're just going to say, it's demonic. Oh, wow.
Put it off.
Interesting. Anyway, let us just, the information is out there, but it was a fantastic for me just to hear people, mothers, come together and share the experience. It was great. Well done, Abosede Abasa. Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, we're going to go through the top stories today. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Very quickly, we're going to start with the nation. Presidency, DSS activists clash over planned protests. Lots of people are responding. President said something, Shoyinka said something, DSS said something, Falana said something. Everybody says something. So I don't want to go through the quotes, but it's all over the papers. 2.2 billion voted for cattle settlements. AMCON takes over firms over 3.6 billion debt. El Zakzaki, police won against procession. Oyo NURTW chief auxiliary cries out. Okay, and man kills in-law over wife's alleged infidelity.
This happened in Delta States. So this particular man, according to the story, his wife confessed to him that she slept with her brother-in-law. That's his brother, the husband's brother. So in anger, he got up with a gun and went to the family of the wife to have, he was upset. So as he got there, he met the brother, his own brother-in-law. They got into an argument and he shot him in the eye. That one died. The brother-in-law, not even his own brother that did that, the brother-in-law. Then the two families now came back for reprisal attacks. They burnt down their houses. The fight is still ongoing and investigations are ongoing as well. I'm just wondering, the person who perpetrated the act is not the person you are upset with.
See, this issue of infidelity, I think
it's a trigger-happy situation. He had a gun.
Yeah.
He got into an argument with someone else, separate from the fact, from the cause
I
of
always say something, Nima. I agree, infidelity is bad, but it's not the end of the world. It's bad. But listen, it has happened. Take more reasonable approach of, okay, you know what, let's separate, we're done.
We
have a
must
conversation.
raise our children to understand anger management.
Yes,
honestly, my son yesterday was lecturing his grandma. Grandma, I know you are angry, but you need to calm down. You can't be shouting like that. I was so happy that, okay, all my lessons are working, but we need to control our anger.
Okay, we'll talk about the DSS because Sowore is all over the papers. It's a hot topic today. Sowore, the naked girls dancing. Trust me, Lagos was shut down over the weekend on social media because there was a trust us. We have to talk about it, but let us go through the pages of the front page of the newspapers. The Punch, Revolution Now saga. Protesters, Buhari group may clash. Shoyinka others knock presidency. Picture here of Lagos. You will never believe this is Lagos. Says it's Lawan Sin bus stop in Surulere, right to our backyard here. If you see what I'm seeing, well, hopefully the new commissioners will get their portfolio soon and they can start work in earnest. Police probe Lekki strippers video, Techno Mount's defense. AAUA, that's the school in Akure, demands prosecution of soldiers who gang raped students. Politics, Aminu Kano's disciple says Jaga. Fourth wife joins Sanusi 4 years after wedding. Operators tackle FG over Emirates double daily flights. UK jails Nigeria for laundering 440 million naira for cult leader. Fatou Imbo resumes 1 month after rape allegation. Water bill to bring back Ruga, says South and Middle Belt. Lots of stories. Let's start with the... Sorry?
The university.
Yeah, in Akure.
Yes, so the management of the university, that's the Adekunle Ajasin University in Akoko, Ondo State. They've condemned the alleged assault of a 300-year-old student. Miriam took the story last week that the student was called out from the took out from the bus and was raped by the soldiers who were manning that bus stop. And so the soldiers have been, the soldier involved has been arrested. So the school is calling for the prosecution, wants to see how the matter goes. And they're also asking that they remove them from that particular area and take them to another area that there's a lot of kidnapping and banditry.
UK jails Nigerian, you got that story?
So there are 3 Nigerians that have been jailed to 16 years in prison for laundering £1 million. This happened between 2007 and 2015. This money was laundered from Black Axe, that's the cult group, and it is banned in Nigeria. And they're saying that based that this organization is banned in Nigeria, they are culpable in making people swear blood oaths. They are in drug dealing, murder, rape, extortion, and this organization has now been using this family, 3 people, 56-year-old, 35-year-old, and 46-year-old. 3 of them, same family members, siblings, were found to be using false transactions to be moving the money from Nigeria into the UK, and now they've been sentenced to 16 years in prison.
Good stuff. Let's talk very quickly about Sanusi, 4th wife. You know there was this controversy over...
So remember the controversy that we had as a topic then when the emir married a younger wife,
a young lady, underage.
Apparently, it was a marriage that wasn't consummated. She was married just as she was going to university. She just graduated and they completed marriage rights over the weekend.
So after how many years?
All of you that are shouting.
So those of you screaming that certain people are doing underage marriages, this is an example of what it looks like. 14-year-old. No. I'm telling you what the story said now.
This
particular 14-year-old girl was married to an emir.
Okay.
The marriage wasn't... She was 18.
Was she 18 then or 14?
18.
At that time?
I thought she was 14.
At the time, 18.
She was 18.
She was an adult.
Okay, but the point is that the young girl was married, but it wasn't consummated. They waited for her to finish her university. Now, 4 years after, she's now moving into her husband's house. So
he's a good
all
man,
the hula baloo about, underage.
Well, that's the sunnah. That's how even the Prophet Sallallahu did this.
Okay, moving on to Vanguard. You can't change government without polls, President tells Sowore. We'll talk about Sowore right now. And Koza, angry reactions show Pastor Falto members return to pulpit. 81 headsmen convicted, 3,000 cows seized, says Otom. Rescue of kidnapped victims in Ogum, how the battle was won. State of the nation, June 12, can reoccur, says Kolade. Okay, let's talk about Sowore for a second.
Okay, so the owner of Sahara Reporters called for a subtle revolution now, and he was arrested by the DSS for calling for a revolution. People are started clamoring that, it's wrong, it's right. We'll take it on our hot topic, all the details later.
Well, we're not going to talk about it on hot topic. I'll let you...
why not?
Okay. We'll move it. Koza for a second. I don't want to touch Koza.
It's not a bad story. It's just that he finally has gone up the pulpit again. He started yesterday after 1 month of the issue on ground. And his people were very excited to see him. He preached a message about sudden victory, that how, people could persecute you. Not everybody will like you, but then you have to hold on and hold fast. And he mentioned that, because I saw a video where he was saying that if you know that in the past 4 weeks you are a new member, please come out, let's celebrate you. And I saw people coming out, and he was, everywhere was, people were excited.
For me, I wondered from the beginning, what were we trying to achieve by stepping down? And what have we achieved by him coming back? What exactly is going on?
Right.
Like, there is no
investigation
resolution.
is ongoing.
Yes.
Investigation is ongoing. That's what we know right now. I want to talk about this fact that how the battle was won, those were rescued from the kidnap. Because my GO was mentioning at the pastors' meeting that one of our members, the pastor, your
RCGD pastor
was actually abducted and everything. And the woman came out and she said that she prayed to God that the abductor should sleep. And they slept and she ran away.
Miracle.
Yes,
the account in the paper is
the account paper is a bit different, but we are telling you what happened on ground. The account from the paper is based on what they saw up there and what the helicopter. But the woman that went through it said they slept and she escaped. The paper said what the paper
said that while they were up, his boys were smoking the forest. That got the kidnappers confused, and they were running along with their hostages. So everybody ran out and they were able to rescue the people that they needed to rescue and arrest those that were kidnapped.
So their own version that they got scared because they felt the pressure of the police. We are saying the guys slept off and we ran. And when she ran, she was able to now tell the police where the others were, and they found the others. And thank God.
We need to investigate the facts in this story. Why is the police saying A and eyewitness is saying B?
No eyewitness. That's someone who experienced it.
That's what we need to.
Can we move on to Daily Sun? You can listen. Take whatever version you want to take. My own is that God answered our prayer. That the Joe spoke and it happened.
It happened.
Simple. Get that into your mind.
Opium of the masses.
Daily Sun. Daily Sun. 2.2 billion already in 2019 budget for Ruga. Kano blasts Ohanese's Southeast governors over killing of Enugu priest. Xenophobia, FG South Africa disagree over killings of Nigeria in South Africa. Sowore Buhari behaving like Abacha, says Choyinka. All right, xenophobia, who has that story?
Okay, so the South African, what's it called? Their ambassador to our country was responding to our federal government stance. Federal government was saying that they would take a strong stand against the killings of Nigerians in South Africa, and they are insisting that they're also on top of it, that they're doing everything needed to be done to curb and to stop it, and they don't believe that they believe it's a crime, it's not an attack on the citizens of Nigeria alone.
Well, the facts and stories that come to us seem otherwise. So
they had the back and forth, and the governor of Ebonyi as well as the governor of Anambra also made calls to the federal government to insisting that they should do the needful in that.
2.2 billion naira for Ruga.
Yes, so it's like a new development or something they just found, but they are just spotlighting it right now that 258 billion has already been earmarked for the suspended Ruga settlement. And a lot of organizations, sociocultural groups are coming out to say, why would that amount of money be in the 2019 budget when the Ruga settlement has already been suspended? Okay. So they are, continue.
No, we have to move on, unfortunately.
The budget, let's just the facts. The budget had been passed before in the last administration under the previous minister. It's been submitted and passed. Okay. The policy was brought out. It was suspended. It doesn't mean that the budget passed will now be revoked. Right. And when they make appropriation, it doesn't mean they've been disbursed. So people should get information before spending.
Daily Trust, oil states stuck in 1.3 trillion naira debt trap. I think that's the only different major headline. I want to take that story.
So I would like people to read the article. It's very detailed on the indebtedness of major oil states in the Niger Delta and those outside the Niger Delta. So the major oil states have taken loans up to 1.something trillion. Domestic loan up to 1.something trillion. And of course, the article is detailing how they borrowed this money over time. But the three oil producing states not within the Niger Delta are owing about 2.something billion naira from domestic debt alone.
Yes.
But I hope that this will
30% derivative. They are still borrowing money.
They are seriously borrowing. Very indebted.
Okay, unfortunately, that's what we can take on the front pages. When we come back, as I said, Sowore was hot and techno. The two topics that were hot this weekend. There was a third one about the lady that slapped the young boy, but I think I think I said he's been arrested.
The lady that put the boy in the cage.
Yeah. I think I said that he's been arrested. Anyway, let's go on the break. When we come back, we'll start with Techno Matter. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I wish I had that name.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, Lagos was in a frenzy on Friday following sighting of half-naked girls dancing in a transparent truck. A man was seen dancing with them. The video has generated a lot of backlash from Nigerians, and it was later found out that it was actually a music video from popular musician Techno. Now, there's so many parts of this. He has actually come out to apologize today. He didn't intend to actually put this obscenity in our face. He didn't plan it, actually. But people are still reacting. There are various angles. I'd like you to call it 070-806-6804. You can also tweet us at TVC. Can I please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets? We want to hear your views on this because the lady recording the video said, end times. Said she posted it. If she hadn't posted it, we probably wouldn't have known what happened. People would have just moved on. Yeah. But she felt that responsibility of recording and posting. Lagos State has since responded. So suddenly we are all now holy people. Last is responding. Everybody say, end times. Suddenly we're now holy concerning this one. What are your general thoughts when you saw that video? Let me come to Obiajulu.
Okay. So I had a heated conversation with somebody. In fact, arguments on that issue. Because the person kept saying that we are all hypocrites. We are selecting the one we want to fight for. See the way everybody's responding right now. The government is responding. The Lasema, they are all coming out. But when they have issues of banditry, of kidnapping, you don't see them respond as much. That we go online, we see naked people. A lot of celebrities are getting naked now online. And we are not shouting for them to close down their pages and all of that. I now said, personally, I don't have a problem with naked women dancing. Is their choice. But don't put it in my face when I don't ask for it. It was on the road. Now, if I was in that car with my children, would I have said, oh yeah, close your eyes, or let's jump out of the car till they go? How would I have explained it to the children? Now we have places, we know that there are certain places where you can go if you want to see that kind of thing. They haven't even, there's no ban on it. It's their freedom of expression, whatever it is they want. But if I want that kind of view, I will go to certain places to see it. It's my choice, and it's my money. But don't put it in my face where I do not have a choice.
Okay, all right.
That was my
Let me
problem.
come to talk about your own general views when you saw the video.
So I totally agree with don't give me what I don't want. I didn't opt in for it. So it's all, these videos of twerking girls are usually everywhere on social media and even on pay TV, your decoders. So you can go to those stations. I don't watch it. When you show it to me and my family when we did not want to see it, then it is wrong. It is wrong, and she will take the legal, Nima will take the legal perspective on it. What I was a bit worried about was Tekno's reaction and reply. So he said, oh, we are low on funds. And so we decided to use a vehicle to convey the ladies, and they were having fun on the way there. Okay. If this was actually true, because I have done makeup videos for many years, and I understand the atmosphere there. Everybody is drinking, they're smoking, they're eating, they're having fun. According to him, this happened 12:10 a.m. in the middle of the night. And they were coming back from one shoot, going to another location. Those girls are just having fun. They are oblivious of the effect of what they're doing on the society. And like I always say, everybody will do whatever they want to do until the society boxes them into what you must do when you are here. No matter how broke you are, if you're shooting a video, in some countries, you dare not display those kind of things at all, because the society have created the rules and regulations, and they make sure that you must conform to it. Largely here, I'm happy that this is coming out, because now we would create more stringent rules on what is and what
thank you for
what
taking us there,
say.
because people say, listen, this is Nigeria, everything goes. You find people bringing in old bad products from different parts of the world and dumping it in Nigeria. Everything goes. There are really no rules stopping us. There might be rules, but nobody's really implementing it. So when Lassa responded, what are your thoughts on the fact that Lassa was saying, this is not it's non-legal, we can accept this in Lagos?
Lassa is the Lagos State Agency for signage and adverts in Lagos. So they were doing exactly what they were created for, which is, of course, to regulate what we see in public and what people put out in public in name of products or anything. And Tekno's excuse, let me quickly first of all go there before I come back. It's a lame excuse.
Tekno's response?
Tekno's excuse that they were low on funds and they were shuffling between location and location. That was a transparent,
and they borrowed a transparent truck.
And in the truck, there were movements around. They danced all the way. They were shooting.
They said that their cars had broken down. All their cars had broken down.
They were shooting in our public space. If they were just transparent, everybody should have sat down. They would take a break between the adverts. But they were not taking a break. They were splashing dollars in our face and in our public space. So thankfully, we have Lassa there to do the needful, which is to regulate what we see in our public space. Now, what is legal, and I'm sure Lassa is on top of it. But I have a problem with ladies being symbolized in such certain ways. Why is it that Tekno was fully clothed in that video, and we women, people of my own gender, were the ones who had to sell the video with their own
nakedness and
why subject us to such a level?
Why subject you?
No, hold on a minute. Why do women allow themselves to be?
That's a different issue.
I've seen Falls. I've criticized him before, but in Falls' videos, when I see women, sometimes you display comedians in the videos. People can still wear clothes and sell a video and sell a musical video.
You as a lawyer,
I don't understand.
Everybody has a freedom of expression.
Yes. Okay. Your freedom stops where mine starts. So your freedom of expression is limited. Every right under the Constitution is limited. It's qualified.
Let me take this call from Rashida.
It's qualified.
Rashida, are you there?
Yeah, I'm actually.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you. This is my first time.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Apparently, I've lived in Western world for over 2 decades. I've never seen that.
Thank you.
I think we should be able to speak to. Thank you very much. We should be able to speak to the techno or no techno. This is uncalled for, and I don't think Nigeria has actually got to that stage. I've never ever experienced this.
Thank you.
And I think
what you say is I brought this.
Thank you very much, Rashida.
Mariah, there's a gap in the music industry. There's a major gap. there is a major gap because we don't have like a theater village, a movie town. Because in developed countries, they shoot these videos. They shoot videos that will make it look like there's a crowd. People are looking.
In the studio.
They do it in the studio. Everything can be created because they have the facility to artistically create whatever they want to. I've worked on the set. If she hasn't seen it because she has not has an opportunity to be where they shoot music videos. In Nigeria, if you go to the beach and they're shooting music video, people will wear bikini and they'll be dancing. If you are if they decide to shoot in a mall, you see them wearing whatever they're wearing, they're dancing. The only reason we're talking about this now is because one lady took it upon herself to record. And gave her comments, and that video went viral. These things have been happening. People shoot videos everywhere on the road. So they seek permission and they shoot.
Really and truly, listen, this is adult content.
Yes.
There's a market for it. Simple. Let's not act as if there isn't. Now, the right thing is for them to have a proper village.
Before they shoot, they must use our public.
No. It shouldn't be public. They shouldn't shoot in public.
Yes.
They shouldn't shoot.
No, let's give an example of the
approvals for doing certain things in certain places. That was totally wrong in that place, according to what you said. Let me take this call. Hello, are you there?
Hello. Good
Morning. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, this is Osage.
Osage, live. Go ahead.
Yeah, I am enjoying your show.
Thank you.
I am a musician. But I must tell you that show business is show business. When you are shooting, have you watched Awilow's video? You have been watching Michael Jackson, and we enjoy them. You see, show business is show business. Government has not provided any job for those guys. And they are doing something for themselves. You have said it that they were shooting that video at 12 a.m.
So it makes it good.
They are working hard. That's what he's saying.
Now, those people, they are working hard for their money. You understand? 12 a.m. If it was actually 12 a.m., what were people doing outside at that time of?
Hey, Osage, where did you go to?
Osage, thank you very much for your call. Yes.
So I want to say that people have their choices on the lifestyle that they choose or that they want. Every profession is a profession. Those people are video vixens, they're probably models. That's the profession they've chosen. We have people here who decide to model for lingerie and then they just wear it. It's the profession they have chosen. Right. I was on stage for a number of years, catwalking on swimsuits and bikini for beauty pageants. It was the profession I chose at that time. So let's respect people for whatever they choose. There was a video that was circulating recently. You don't have to like it. It's their life. Circulating recently where a man, a pastor was preaching and he brought out people who came from the abroad on stage and they were all clothed properly. So let's not hide under the cover of we're trying to be Western, because there are Western people who choose to dress properly and is a choice, basically.
Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation and then we'll hear more of your views. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So still on this half-clad ladies that were dancing, people have talked about the hypocrisy of the responses from this. That yes, we agree, it was obscene, we agree, they could have actually gone elsewhere to do this. It's not something you asked for and it was put in your face. But why that hypocrisy? Acting as if even the most holy man does this in secret. The kind of responses.
It's a secret thing.
So
they do it in secret. They don't do it in the open.
The comments out there was therefore keep quiet and mind your business.
Private. What is private is not necessarily secret. What you do when you have arrived, you spend money, you carry women, marry more wives. You do it in your private house. Do it in your house. As it concerns your family, do not promote it such that the average youth growing up thinks, if I've not done this, I've not arrived. I've not hammered. And there's nothing stopping you from showing creativity in any video without necessarily practically this word, don't symbolize certain gender as your conquering or arriving mentality.
Sandy,
so
that's a battle. That's a battle
that's life.
That's
you
a
can
battle.
actually arrive.
No. It's right. It's a battle that I also feel bad about because I'm like, women are sexualized to promote everything.
Thank you.
It is not today. It's not a battle we can win. But a battle we can win is to stop them from putting it in my face. I had an issue that happened on the road, and I saw a man that was seeking for funds for his, I think he has a cancer or something, or like a tumor. And he puts his entire private part outside. And this was a road, I was going to pick up my kids to pass that road again. And I called the security men that, guys, how do I explain this to my children that this person is bringing out everything and what's the swollen and all of that? So there's some things that no matter how you can rationalize it that, oh, he needed money for health, it's clinical, it is something that should be done privately. You don't bring it to the front of everybody because we can't have that conversation.
They wanted to say last thing for you.
Yes, wars have been fought and conquered just because they want to conquer and show that I have arrived and to have certain women. So it's not a war, it's not a fight that we can say, why do you want to sexualize women? Why? That is how nature has always been. The only thing is, let's find a way to do things right. So for those that are interested, find a way to do it that you don't make it like the norm.
Let's take a few tweets.
Women know your worth, though. Tweets plenty. First off, Akim Boyewa says, I saw the video of the mobile indecent dancers on the street.
Hold on for a second. Ayani's been waiting for a while.
Okay,
Ayani, are
sorry.
you still there? I'm sorry for holding. Are you there, Ayani?
Yeah, good morning.
Please, thanks for calling.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I think I have to align with the other lady up front this morning.
Obiajulu.
I saw that vehicle at Mapuluku 2 months ago. I mean, last month. I saw it with my wife and
What was there?
there. And I was wondering, what can this kind of vehicle be
Used for.
Because it doesn't have any door. I mean, the cubicle, no door, nothing. Until when I saw it on the internet, I mean, on Facebook, with that kind of indecent show. Like what that lady said. Even if they are going to do that kind of, they don't need to put it into our face.
Right.
We don't need it. We have club. We have strippers club. Anybody that has this money can go there to watch
In private.
that kind of show, not bringing it to our face. So
Thank you very much, Ayani.
When time will come, it shouldn't start.
Right. Thank you very much, Ayani. Let's take a few more tweets so we can wrap up on this.
Okay, so Akimbewa's tweet was, first of all, Akimboyewa says, I saw the video of the mobile indecent dancers on the streets of Lagos and cannot but weep for my country. The use of women as sexual objects in the video must stop. So that expresses my thought exactly. Ketamine says, some people justify provocative dressing by saying we should look away if we don't like it. So what makes this techno case of indecency different? Since we want to be mad,
He says, Kola Rashidat said, I've lived in the West for over 2 decades and I've never seen this. It depends on where you are. What's fine in London is shocking in conservative Texas. What's perfectly normal in Copenhagen might shock you in London. Festus says, okay.
Let's wrap up on this because there's another hot topic over the weekend, which everybody was talking about. Sowore, the CEO of Sahara Reporters, alongside Idris Abdul Karim and others were planning a protest, which has stirred lots of reactions from various people. Femi Falana has spoken up. Professor Wole Soyinka also said a few things. What are your general thoughts on this, especially the fact that there was a definition that was sent of what a revolution means versus what a protest means. And a revolution, based on the definition, is an overthrow of a government.
A forcible overthrow of a government or social order.
In your view, do you think that was what the intention of Sowore and others, or was it just supposed to be some kind of an intense protest against what was going on in the country?
I think Sowore is big on language and labels because he's been on the show and I know he likes to use big words. I do not think that he really means to overthrow the government. Personally, I do not think so. Now, I know we've had the government saying that he has people who are supporting him from outside the country, and you know there are people that are probably planning to use him more like the face, but then they are working behind to spoil things in the country. But I don't see it as that because I had to take a look at all the things that they stated that the protest was supposed to achieve. And I saw that there were things that we have sat here on the table and we've talked about. We've talked about the minimum wage, how the government can start paying. We've talked about how we can make policies that will allow the children of our politicians to school in the country so that they can focus on the educational system. We've talked about the deplorable state of private and public health centers, healthcare centers. We've talked about all these issues. And those were the issues and a lot more that you know, they wanted to achieve with the protest. So, but my problem is, we have to be very sensitive on the language that we use. Because from what a revolution means, the government has a right to pick him up.
Let me come to...
I just want to start by quoting what the representative of the president in 13th of February 2011 said. He said, presidential candidate Muhammadu Buhari has urged Nigerians to draw lessons from the 18-day peaceful revolution. Peaceful revolution, which saw Hussein Mubarak quit as Egyptian president last Friday and effect a regime change in Nigeria using the ballot poll in April. So the only way to take away a government in democracy is through ballots. People were quoting using this quote and removing the ballot box area. They were focusing on the fact that the president has also called for revolution before, that the president has once protested against the government. The president has said that they will make the country, they were going to make country ungovernable if something did not go the way they wanted it to, the party in power. Yet, what the goal should be, I cannot say what Sowore is thinking. I cannot imagine what it means. I cannot give a connotation to what he's saying. What I can do is to take his literal meaning of what he just said. And based on the word he said, it is that let us go and fight this government into doing what we want. And revolution means we are changing the power on ground. I am a supporter of protesting because we need to hold our leaders accountable. I'm a supporter of Nigerians getting involved as the office of the citizenry, but I also do not want Nigeria to descend into anarchy. And that is what we would have if we don't have a constructive plan to change government.
Okay, let me come to Mima.
So people have come out to say that Sowore's call was a peaceful one. Maybe, you know, a lot of things are not working in the country and he's calling for a revolution. We've had the biggest of names talk about it, say, you know, it's safe, Buhari is acting like Abacha, things are not supposed to be like that and all that. Let's just imagine if he was hijacked. I saw Sowore give a speech at celebrations and the people on his side were so agitated. Even some of the youth among us were feeling, if these people should hijack us, we will be led by the right person. You might have laudable intentions, but you must put it down legally. I believe that they can protest against the non-payment of wages, like Bobiajulu mentioned. They can protest against, you know, the killings. They can do a lot of protests can happen every day as long as they conform with the law. Also, on the part of law enforcement agencies, they could also investigate and find out if they had any ulterior motive for this protest, just to balance things. Because we don't unnecessarily want to create a martyr out of somebody who we don't know his character.
From the video that Sowore and I think Idris Abdulkarim recorded, they were already citing examples on China, different countries. So that's suggestive of revolution. That in itself is suggestive of what the intentions were.
The countries they cited, it wasn't violent. Even at the end of the day...
The issue is not the violence, though. The issue is that you're calling for a revolution, you're automatically asking for a change.
The truth is, the issues raised are issues all of us are feeling. Yes, we know. The country is peppering people's body. So there's this agitation. I do not think the response from the government is appropriate for this agitation. I feel that you must communicate with your people. You must let them understand why they should not follow a protest like this and lay your plans for them. You must cast a vision that will make me calm down and bear with you.
People are not, let me come to
we have to be very careful. Revolutions are around the world. The Arab Spring, the one in Libya, a lot of other ones were like that, were hijacked by elements the people did not know of. Today, the situation in those countries are nothing to talk about. They are the worst kind of living that they're living now. What they've been through in Sudan in the past few months is unmentionable here. We don't even want to consider it. So I know an average Nigerian doesn't want to even imagine. So imagine,
I'll come to you.
We need to have a proper balance. We need, yes, protest. I would even prefer that they lay siege to the National Assembly and compel that lawmakers drop their salaries.
January 2nd.
Go and sit there and
2011. You know,
I would join.
Imagine you do that huge protest and it's hijacked, like you said, maybe by these headsmen these ghost headsmen come out and we have people from the Boko Haram, they all come and all kind of hijack this process from us.
And it goes
before you know
violence.
it gets violence, and
People
before you know
just
it, we're dealing with something bigger than we thought.
can imagine.
I think
let
this
me
is
wrap
more
up
of a
on this.
lesson for everybody. So in as much as you have good ideas, you have a good vision, presentation matters. You need to, sit down and think of the best way to present so that there's a part of the scripture that says, your good will not be evil spoken of. This is a laudable thing that you've come up with, a venture, a protest, whatever it is, but then the presentation is now making people feel that you want to do evil.
Okay.
I personally also do not think that he has the means to do a proper revolution. I do not think it.
Is that all 29 states are actually involved in this? So I think they're actually planning for a long time.
My worry is that we live in a country where we're really shy of speaking up. People just hide behind their phone and tweet, but nobody takes up their voice out and stand for what they feel should be right. Sowore has stood up for what he feels is wrong. How he's done it might be questionable and people are holding him account to that, but do we need somebody to speak up for the ills in our society?
Of course
yes.
we do. That's what
and
we're
so
doing
we
here.
shouldn't witch hunt Sowore to the point that anybody will
We
speak
have to
up
wrap
again.
up on this. We'll continue to monitor the story because according to the reports, we don't know if the protest would carry out at all because the police and DSS, everybody's actually on the road making sure. And I think Governor of Rivers State has said
Which is
that
why they're saying it's
state
like
is not involved.
like-
They're going to come to Rivers State.
Which is why they are saying like it's a bacha because if as a democracy we can no longer have freedom of speech to protest, then there's a problem because they are guiding us and stopping us from nobody will sit down at home.
Nobody's saying we cannot protest. You're just saying don't force a revolution, which means an
peaceful
overthrow.
protest
That's what
works.
the issue
Some
is.
people will not
Unfortunately,
understand what you mean and just join.
That's all we can take. When we come back, our Let's Talk today, this issue of road closures across board is really, really, really worrisome. A lot of people are worried, especially for the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway going to be closed very soon. And I think over the weekend, we had the issue with the Ikorodu Road. So we'll have with us our guest who will be explaining to us what will be done during that road closure. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So according to reports, the federal government has moved the partial closure of portions of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway to September 2nd, 2019. The partial closure was initially expected to commence on Saturday, August 3rd, to enable construction company Julius Berger to work a stretch of 1.3 kilometers between Berger and Kara Market. However, joining us on the show now is the Zonal Commanding Officer, FRSC Zone 2, covering Lagos and Ogun State, Assistant Corps Marshal Samuel A. Obayemi. Welcome to the show, sir.
It's a pleasure to be here this morning.
You can call us 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. All right, so people had initially planned for that August 3rd, but suddenly we got a report saying that it's been moved to September 2nd. Why was that?
Well, I want to believe that the government of the day is considering the fact that a partial closure of that road will affect a lot of stakeholders. A lot of landlords live around that area. We have people who hug their wares on that particular portion of the road, and they need to be synthesized and informed well ahead of time. We have carried on this extension program for quite some time, but the federal government believes that we still need to extend that to cover the religious bodies along that corridor because they have programs that have been lined up for this month of August, for instance. Just last Saturday, MFM had their program, which is a monthly program that comes up every Saturday of the month. The same thing with RCCG. They have their own program that comes up, that is the Holy Ghost Night, that comes up every Friday of the month. As I speak,
How long is this week off?
as I speak with you,
yes,
there is this 67th National Convention that has started that will last for about 6 days.
Yes.
You are NRCCG.
Yes. And the thing is, and God said.
So because of some of these reasons and all other reasons, there will be need for us, for the federal government, to give an extension. They have done the way they have just done.
Recently, we were speaking with the for the former Minister for Works, and he was explaining that for us to quickly complete that road, they would need a total shutdown. And the government now is saying, so another partial shutdown. Explain to me, what exactly do they mean by a partial closure of the road, and why another partial one?
I think there is no way there can be total closure of the road, because Lagos to Ibadan is 127.6 kilometers. There is no way the construction company can work at the same time on that road. It has to be segmented. So if there's need to work on a particular portion of the road, there will be partial closure. Partial closure means that alternatives will be provided for people to move freely.
Okay, so that's, I just came back from Ibadan yesterday, and they've not even done partial closure. Yet, Lagos to Redeem, on a normal day, just took about, Ibadan to Redeem took like barely an hour. But between Redeem to get into Lagos took 2 hours. And they haven't even done any partial closure. Apart from, is it different from what we have, where they just create the slide, change it into one way? When you say partial closure, what should people expect, those that apply that road? What would happen?
Well, presently we are making use of 4 lanes. 2 this side, this is the 2 inward, 2 outward. With the closure that is expected to come up on the 2nd of September, what that means is that people coming into Lagos, we have to make use of the inward road into Lagos. So 4 lanes will now become 2 lanes.
Okay.
And what is important is we are up to the task. We want to assure members of the public that nothing will go wrong. The gridlock that a lot of people expect will come up will not be noticed. That's because we have put everything in place. We have a corridor covering Lagos, Ibadan, and Beda. On an hourly basis, we have a corridor commander who reports activities on that stretch of road. And we have about 7 commands on that corridor. So when there is any problem on that road, the corridor commander calls the next command to do what is expected of that command, so that there will be free flow of traffic.
Okay, I'm aware that it will take about 4 months for this job to be done. But my fear is, what happens if along the line the project is being abandoned? I'm giving you a case in study here. There's a bridge that was being constructed around Penn Cinema. Penn Cinema has been blocked for as long as I can remember. We had to struggle to find an alternative. Right now, it's been abandoned and nothing is happening, and we're still struggling on that alternative. If anything happens and this project is abandoned, what happens to the commuters?
It is not expected that anything will go wrong. Lagos-Ibadan Expressway is a very important stretch of road that a lot of commuters make use of. On the average, 25,000 vehicles fly that road, which includes private vehicles, public vehicles, buses, trailers, and tankers. So when you take the average of 5 passengers on a vehicle plying that road, we are talking of close to 250,000 commuters that ply that road on a daily basis. So the construction company, this is a reputable construction company, cannot afford to abandon that project. Cannot abandon, afford to abandon that project.
You've assured us that you have it under control, and that the gridlock we are suspecting would happen might not happen or will not happen. So I just want to be further reassured, because what exactly is the state of the part of the road that we'll be using? How good is it? Because apart from organizing traffic, the state of the road will, of course,
add to the question, because when I was going, I saw officials where there was an accident. Well, it's not about, I believe that they would report. Your sector commander will report, the person in charge will report what can be done, because sometimes you need high-powered articulated vehicles to remove the obstructions. What are the plans that, because I'll see the officials there, they stand there, and they'll be saying, pass here, pass here. Well, all of us are stuck. We'll be passing one by one. So there will be difficulty, and I don't think we should sugarcoat the reality of how it's going to be to people watching. What other, apart from just reporting, has been planned out to ensure there's amelioration of the challenges people will go through for that period of 4 months?
Let me let you know that at the moment we have a 70-ton truck, that is assigned to move all obstructions up the road during this period. Apart from that, we're in touch with tow truck owners along that corridor. So when we have problems of gridlock, breakdowns, obstructions, crashes, we call on these tow truck owners to assist, and they have been assisting. This is something that we've been doing over a long period of time. Since that project started, they have their mode of operations. What they do is they cordon off a particular road that they intend to work on and create alternative roads for people to pass.
Okay, let's talk about
movement easy for all commuters and road users.
Let's talk about the alternative roads right now, because now Lagos Ibadan obviously is that one road, trucks come in and leave through. So you, as you're saying, whether we like it or not, those ones would always come in. So we can actually just stop plying those roads for that period. But what are the alternative routes for us?
If we're going to Ibadan, where else?
I'm going to Ibadan now. I'm going to go to camp. How else do I get to camp?
Well, that's the only route to make use of for now.
Okay.
What is important is for people to always be patient, have consideration for all road users.
Okay.
When people drive against traffic, definitely there will be gridlock. When people refuse to give way to other road users, when they are supposed to, there will be gridlock. So our appeal is for them to have consideration for all road users. This is not the period where we expect people to put rickety vehicles on that corridor. Because once there's a breakdown, traffic will build up.
Yeah.
And once the traffic builds up, it leads to...
So that was the question earlier, that there will be breakdown, whether we like it or not. This is Nigeria.
Yes.
We have tow trucks ready on standby. Let me come to my children and come to you.
Okay, so
we'll take care of that.
I was told that you people are going to, there's provision to ensure that the place is properly lit up.
Yeah.
You know, so that to make sure that...
That is the work of the construction company.
Oh, they are the ones in charge
But
of
who
the
will we hold accountable if that doesn't happen?
That is the construction company.
Okay, so Nima asked a question,
Yeah.
and she said that what is the quality of the road that will not be asked to pass?
It's the same road, they're not going to
like, is it, no, because sometimes if we are passing one lane, and the one lane has potholes, that reduces the time, it increases the stretch. So is there a plan to ensure that the road that will be forced to, the one lane all of us will be forced to squeeze through, is actually motorable, so that it's not that we're now facing potholes on that one too? And would other stretch of the road be freed up? Because there's many partial blockage. Would they free up some other areas so that the transit will be easy to that point?
Yeah, obviously they will. Because as it is now, like I said, there are 4 lanes. Presently, they're working on 2 lanes in outward Lagos. It's expected that by the time that there's partial closure on this other side of part of the road, the traffic will shift to this other part of the road, inward, outward.
Outward, same thing.
So there's still, you're saying it's the same blockage we have now, right now?
No. Right now, we're making some 4 lanes.
Let me take this call from my papa. Good morning, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
All right, I just want to... Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
We can hear you.
Listen to me, please. Go ahead.
Please make a contribution. Okay, are you hearing me?
Oh,
You're listening to your TV. That's why it's delayed. Listen to me directly, please.
They are men. They were extorting money from all these trailers. And those things...
I have to cut it off. I'm sorry. Right. You were talking about road users being considerable to other road users. I know that there was a time we were traveling to, I think maybe Campbell, Ibadan or something, and there was a lot of traffic. The driver at the time took the shoulders. He started driving on the rough part, which is like the side. I mean, they're trying that. By the time we did that, it was a bit more congested. Now, would your men be on road to stop that, or would you encourage that to ease out the traffic?
Well, that cannot be encouraged. The hard shoulder remains the hard shoulder. He is not meant to be driven on. What we do during this period is more of traffic calming, traffic control, and the fact that road signs will be placed at specific areas that our men will be there to tell people how to make proper use of the road, where there are diversions.
Let me take Tunji and I'll come to you. Tunji, please listen directly to me. Don't listen to your TV because the TV gets a bit delayed, so you don't hear me properly. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. My name is Tunji. This is my first time calling.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Well, I think we are getting some things wrong, basically. I just want to clarify a few things. The government power sector, the government is doing a remarkable job to solve that Lagos Ibadan problem. But the problem is that most of the problem that we have in Nigeria is our fault. I'll make, even in waste management, it's our fault as citizens. I'll make an example of MFM. I was invited for a program last year. That was the first time I attended an MFM program. We got there in record time. They finished by 12 noon, and we came out into the car park. I'm not kidding. We moved just like a few centimeters. 4 hours to go to cover about 30 centimeters. I'm not saying meters, 30 centimeters in that car park, 4 hours. We didn't even see the expressway. It doesn't make sense when those people that are actually causing traffic are not taking cogent steps to solve the problem. An example is very simple. They can basically tag all those car parks, set timers, when the cars are supposed to come out and when they are supposed to stop coming out for each car park. We can manage traffic in Lagos, no matter how much the vehicles are. In the street movement of vehicles to certain times, and when it comes to events, each car park can be dedicated to timers.
Okay, so it's complaining about the difficulty exiting. Thank you, Tunji. From the various car parks within MFM when you went for a program. Okay. So, like, a lot of programs there leads to traffic. He's not saying that it's easy to conduct it if one waits for the other and there are people are coordinating this traffic. Do you have extra men that will be on the road during this period?
Definitely. We are mobilizing people from the component commands around Mowe and Ibafo. As it stands today, there are about 83 staff from both commands, that is Mowe and Ibafo
monitoring that zone.
So we need more staff from the various commands around here to make it about 160 staff that will make use of for this exercise.
So, sir, your agency is constantly, the one, as it is now, the one in charge of, the state of our roads, the regulation of roads and cars and everything in Nigeria. How often do you suggest to government that, the state of the roads be improved? I ask the question because the diversion, the alternative roads, the Ikorodu, Shagamu on the Ijebu-Ode, Ikorodu-Ijebu-Ode road, people have complained about the state of those alternative roads for years. When we have this kind of palliative coming, this kind of closure coming, and people do not have confidence in the state of those
There's no other
roads,
option.
how often do you suggest to government that those other roads should be put in top notch?
Being that your men have more on-ground experience of the quality of the road.
Yes, I want to let you know that part of our responsibilities is to suggest to government how they can improve on our roads. On a monthly basis, we write our reports, which refer to the Ministry of Federal Ministry of Transportation to see what they can do to offer palliative measures towards ensuring that our roads are safe to be walked upon.
Right. Let me take a Modoton, are you there?
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Okay, good morning. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. You see, concerning the closure of the road, I believe either we like it or not, they must close. Traffic will occur. Either we like it or not, it will occur. But my problem is this. You see, this commercial driver, I think they are the major problem of the traffic. They park along the road, pick passengers, drop passengers. I believe Redeem moved their new auditorium inside, very deep inside, just because of this traffic of a thing. Like you see, the old auditorium is very more close to the express than the other one. You see, road safety alone can't do the work. You see, in Lagos State, the only person, the commercial person they respect, the only force agency they respect is tax force and LASMA. So I think they need tax force, LASMA, and in Lagos and Ogun State to do the work.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes,
so I know that sometimes security agencies on the roads, they want to stop these bus drivers. They want to chase them around. And, we have them stopping bus drivers in the middle of a very narrow road because they want to catch them. So they find a way to block and it causes traffic. Now we're going to have 2 lanes reduced. We're having, and not just 2 lanes.
Instead of 4.
Instead of 4. Is there a guarantee that we will not have such, security officials on that road stopping, like mounting a roadblock in that traffic?
Well, I said earlier on that we are going to do more traffic calming, traffic control, and to ensure that there's free flow of traffic. FRSC cannot do it alone. Okay. We're involving other sister organizations. Yeah. The police will be part of that operation. The army will be there.
Custom.
Because they always stop to check vehicles.
We are not working with customs on that corridor for now.
For now. Okay.
For now, we are not. Because we are not supposed to stop vehicles. So it's going to be more of subtle enforcement.
Right.
We are going to deal decisively with people who drive against traffic.
Okay.
Because that is one of the major factors that result in a great low on that corridor.
Okay.
So,
be understood. Let me take Alaji. Alaji from Alaji Hassan. Thanks for calling. Are you there?
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning.
Please allow me to talk briefly about the first topic and secondly about the second topic.
It's your view. Let it count. Go ahead.
The first topic is this. You see, whoever wants to form a government, please, he should go through the right channel. Boko Haram wanted to form government. Shia wanted to form government. Sowore wanted to form government. If you want that one, go through democratic process. Let us vote for you. Don't go through the back door. Sowore is a candidate in the previous election. For him to be calling for revolution now, I don't understand where he is coming from. People are looking for cheap popularity in Nigeria. We have to be very careful the way people talk. Secondly, about the traffic on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The road safety, please, they should be up and doing. Because there was a man that called before about the extortion by your men on the road. And what we are seeing is that you people should deploy more vehicles to remove all the obstructions on the road. You should be up and doing so that there will be free flow of traffic along that route. That is the problem. It is high time we begin to look at ourselves and talk very well. Even the Apapa Green Law, this government, I'm disappointed for a government not to be able to control a common traffic in Apapa, and this thing is telling seriously on our economy.
Thank you very much, Alaji, for bringing up that. The issue of Apapa Green Law.
Before we go there, please. Before we go there, please. I realize that when we do partial closure, and everybody is now on one lane, there's no demarcation of who is coming and who is going. Yeah. And it happened because you now see somebody trying to overtake and face you head on, driving very fast. Is there going to be any penalty? Are you using technology, maybe a camera or something, to ensure that those kind of people are captured? Because those public transport drivers do that shunting, and it might lead to accident and all of that when we are forced into a face me and face you business on the road.
Well, with the arrangement that is on ground, there will be proper demarcation. There will be people coming into Lagos and people going out. There will be proper demarcation. Okay. And that is why I said people must have consideration for other road users. Again, there's need for everybody to be patient. It's a passing phase. Once that road is completed, in 4 months, hopefully, other portions of the road will also be addressed. Because as it is, the Lagos-Ibadan Express road will not be completed on the year 2021.
The second question I had is the fact that Redeem, my church, every month we have this program. So September, if you started September 2nd, our next program is September 6th. Yeah. That's Holy Ghost. Now, is there a special arrangement or...
Yeah, you shouldn't be this selfish.
Or selfish. Let her go ahead. We are the ones that have programs on that road. You guys do. Your own is here in me on that road. So on September 6th, what's the plan for those of us going to camp? This is serious.
Well, I talked with RCCG. They have provided temporary accommodation because what we normally do is to draw staff from the neighboring commands, like I said earlier. Towards ensuring that there's free flow of traffic.
Okay, so the church has volunteered temporary accommodation for your men?
Yes, for our men.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Please clap for our church now.
We said lovely. That's enough. Yeah, so how does it impact this?
Along that corridor?
How would, like, businesses be impacted by this, and they're supposed to live with this for the next 4 months, that we will not have business and all of that. I know that we're hoping that these 4 months they'll keep it, by December they'll open up the road. But what do we do when they don't?
This is Nigeria.
They will. They will. Definitely they will. So they are given a 4-month duration for them to complete. What they are going to work on is just 1.4 kilometers of road.
It's not much.
For that like I said, they are giving 4 months because they feel that because of
the break.
The rain, they might not likely
please advise the residents living on that side of the road. How exactly should they?
They should go and buy a bike.
How should they comply? What should they do
Kara
to
market
ease?
is where the whole thing will start from. And that's where they sell cows to members of the public. We have talked to them. We are still talking to them. Like I said, people live around there too. There are hawkers who hawk their wares, particularly on the traffic. Let me just tell you that the traders are happy.
Yes.
They will block that portion of the road. And they are expecting that there will be gridlock, which will make them sell their
more.
goods and sell more and make more profit. But they'll be disappointed because we are equal to the task. I can give you that assurance.
That's nice.
So,
We have
follow
tweeted. Daniel Tommy says, FRSC is to make federal roads safe. Please ask Mr. Obafemi why they always stay at a very bad spot on the road to stop vehicles for check instead of finding a way to fix the bad spots. Those roads now, I'm sure the roads we are using will be fixed for free flow.
Let me just let him know that it's not the responsibility of FRSC to fix roads. It's not the responsibility
Okay, we have to
of
run
FRSC.
off. But is there any last information we want to give to our viewers out there concerning the closure? So just in case we missed anything.
Well, like I said earlier on, please, I want to appeal to road users that this is a period where we expect that people will be reasonable and know that the federal government is concerned about those who ply that corridor. They should have consideration for the road users. They should be patient. If people are patient, traffic will move freely and everybody will get to his or her destination in good time.
So, in other words,
plan their journeys
and plan your journey is very important because if you usually, it takes you like an hour, just know that 2 hours ahead you have to leave the house because there'll be congestion. So they're giving us a heads up for 4 months. So don't start complaining. If you have family living in the core Lagos, maybe just carry your family. I mean, in the meantime.
But at least the east, though.
But at least
I plan to go to the east, and that's my
leave at 4 a.m.
Leave early enough.
so you can get there on time. That's all we can take on the show. Hope you learned quite a few on the show as we did. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.